Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is my pleasure and privilege to present to you Dame Edith Evans.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my very happy privilege to welcome you to this, the fourth night of 100 Stars. The sketch you are going to see is called Cafe Society, written by Arthur McCrae.
But didn't he even try?
No, he didn't.
But you was always getting ready to go out with him.
Yes, I was.
How did you get on with that new liquid makeup foundation?
Well, I put it on, I smoothed it in, it was smashing. And then I met him at that cafe near Sainsbury's, you know, with the pink fluorescent lighting. And the next thing I know, he's looking at me and he says, "Here, have you got a touch of the tar brush?"
Go on.
Pink fluorescent lighting, I've gone black.
You don't say.
One look in the mirror and I thought, my God, it's Louis Armstrong's mother.
How did you get on with that new hair lotion?
Oh, well, I mean to say, nowadays it's a waste of time, isn't it? You spend hours having your ends done, and what happens? You get there and you find that your boyfriend's had the full perm, the lot.
Eddie?
Yeah, mind you, I must admit he did look smashing. It was Regency. It was sort of brought over at the back, and then it was swept up and over.
With a pompadour?
Well, with a sort of a pompadour. Oh, it was smashing. It'd been under the dryer all the afternoon.
Eddie?
Yeah, he packed his barrow in at 12:30.
My friend and I would like to try some of your new Esso coffee.
I beg your pardon?
Esso coffee. 2 Esso.
She wants Esso.
Well, who does she think she is, Genevieve?
Thank you. Now let's find a nice matinee to go to.
My niece said she thought we'd like Waiting for Goddy.
Oh. Now, what's that about?
Well, apparently they're waiting for someone who never turns up.
Oh, like George and Margaret.
Yes, very much the same sort of thing, I should imagine.
No, it doesn't seem to be on. They give you a very nice tea at the Haymarket.
And at the Globe.
The St. Martin's.
Wasn't that where they took our trays away before we'd finished?
No, that was at the Cambridge. No, the St. Martin's was where they'd forgotten to heat the pot.
I knew there was something.
My gardener used to speak very glowingly of the Windmill Theatre.
I've never been there.
No, nor have I.
Windmill Theatre. What a pretty name. It makes one think of the open.
It says they never closed.
Shall we go there?
Well, I do distinctly remember my gardener speaking of the delightful cups of tea at the Windmill.
Then that's where we'll go.
Mabel's bought one of them new lemon pie hats.
Well, with a face like hers.
Yes, I know, that's what I thought. I mean to say, fancy putting a lemon pie on top of a rice pudding.
Madam, these are not hamburgers. They are not cheeseburgers. They're just fair burgers.
Somebody's forgot to lock the stable door.
I fancy something really sickly.
Liberace on toast.
I say, might we have two of your special chocolate ices, please?
A couple of walls is great.
I say, Jean, how's your friend, Rosie?
Oh, she's had a terrible time. She was all right on the number 11s, but then she got switched to the 69s.
Oh. Yes, what happened then?
What happened? She fell in love with her driver.
Oh.
Crazy because he wouldn't look at her.
Oh, well, he couldn't, could he? I mean, if he was, like, driving the bus and she was taking the ticket.
That's what I kept telling her. But she said, what about the hold-ups? What about the hold-ups, she said.
Oh,
20 minutes outside Swan and Edgar's. 20 minutes, she said. He never so much as glanced round. Oh, she's gone so neurotic she's had to give it up and go into the express dairy.
oh, poor cow.
We'd like 2 espressos, please.
2 espressos, dear. Here, I know you.
Oh, I don't think so. This gentleman has just arrived on a flying visit to see South Sea Bubble.
I know you. I'd recognize you anywhere. I've been a fan of yours for years.
Darling, you're very sweet, but don't tell the Inland Revenue.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an unusual occurrence to have 2 dames of the British Empire on the same program, and it is now my privilege to introduce to you Dame Peggy Ashcroft.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to announce the next item. A sketch by Mr. Noel Coward, which happens to be called 3 Theatrical Dames. The characters you may recognize. We hope that some of you will not, but I will tell you, are Mr. Peter Ustinov, Mr. Paul Schofield, and Mr. Laurence Harvey. Whether that is in order of appearance or seniority is not for me to say. I hope that many of you will be amused, and some of us will be instructed. For those of you who have been stuck in the car queue and happen to be late, this is the 3rd item in the program Night of 100 Stars, known among us as One Dame Thing After Another.
3 theatrical dames, eminent and respectable, our accents are undetectable, and though we've achieved our aims, if they knew what we'd done in 1891, they certainly wouldn't have made us dames.
I started from scratch in a house with a thatch with two very unpleasant old ladies. My parents were dead, so I finally fled and appeared in a tent outside Burton-on-Trent in a very small part in Quo Vadis. I toured in East Lynne on the wedges of sin till I couldn't tell one from the other. Then I found a rich friend and achieved the West End in a farce called She Did It for Mother.
Theatrical names, models of film propriety, accepted by high society because of our famous names. They'd asked us to tea in 1893. They certainly wouldn't have made us names. My very first step was Shakespearean rep, where an awful old ham used to train us. I'd nothing to do in the Dream and the Shrew, but I carried a spear in King John and King Lear, and a hatchet in Coriolanus. I rented for years in pavilions, on piers, till my spirits were really at zero. Then I got a small role of a tart with a soul in a play by Sir Arthur Pinero. 3 theatrical names, each of our houses we adorn with photographs of the highly born in elegant silver frames. It was true in 1892. They certainly wouldn't have made us names.
I made my debut in a canvas canoe in a horrid American drama. It wasn't a hit, so I left the legit and got myself backed in a musical act called A Night in the Garden of Karma. An agent called Klein said, I'm willing to sign whoever that girl who unveils is. So I got my first chance in a biblical dance in a flop at the old Prince of Wales's.
3 theatrical names, prominent high and mighty girls, effectively once were mighty girls, our manner today disclaims. If they've seen our high kicks in 1896, they certainly wouldn't have made us names.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Bennett.
Now, I'll tell you what I'd like to do this evening. For those of you who happen to witness this particular television show that I did on June 3rd, there was a little girl that came on the stage and asked me for an autograph. And in order to sign the autograph, I had her hold my violin, and she picked it up and played an entire number, which left me there with egg on my face, you see. So I thought it would be kind of nice, maybe, if she came back here and we would play a duet together. And I want you to meet her, this very young, very talented young girl, Miss Yvonne Larvin. Yvonne, come on. Okay. Now, Yvonne, now don't be nervous, huh? Don't be nervous or anything. Yvonne, I'll tell you where we found her. Now, she's not professional. She's a little girl that goes to school and plays the violin. She lives about 200 miles from here. What's the name of the town?
Scunthorpe.
What is it?
Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe.
Yes.
That's the town where you live. That's about 200 miles from here, huh? Scunthorpe. Yeah. And she, you study, the violin? I mean, you go to school there,
Yes.
and you study the violin
Yes.
there. I mean, you practice and you take lessons and everything. Because I've studied a long time, the violin. I was studying in Europe. Well, I studied 3 years under Vic Oliver. You know this thing? Till I found out he was lousy, too. So then I quit. Now, Yvonne, what would you suggest that we play together? I mean, what little number? I mean, just something that would be good for the violin, huh?
Well, what about the Gypsy Airs by Sarasate?
Funny how you picked the one number that I don't know of all the numbers. What? Some other number. What else would you?
Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto in E minor.
Mendelssohn's Concerto in E minor. I don't know. That's been done to death. You know, everybody's humming it. You know what I mean? Wherever you go, you mean the number that goes? You mean that one, huh?
Well,
That's the one.
it doesn't quite go like
It doesn't quite, I see. Right? Well, why don't we play the number that we rehearsed? You know what I mean? The thing. Something popular like Getting to Know You, huh? And look, at this time, not like on my television show. I mean, don't show off or anything. Just play the obligato and play it straight. Huh? Okay. Give me A, would you please, honey? Okay. That's close enough. We'll play Getting to Know You, huh? Now, just the harmony and just straight. Now, don't do anything. Do we have an arpeggio? Thank you in this thing. Oh, shut up. Look, one more chorus. One more. Fool around with me, sister. was asked to be compere for just 1 second and introduce the next act. Now, this is a trio that I've never seen, but I heard that they're awfully, awfully good. It's Larry, Vivien, and John Mills in top hat, white tie, and tails.
I just got an invitation through the mail. Your presence requested this evening is formal, a top hat, a white tie, and tail. Nothing now can take the wind out of my sail. Because I'm invited to step out this evening with top hat and white tie and tail. I'm putting on my top hat, tying up my white tie, brushing off my tail. I'm doing up my shirt front, putting in my shirt studs, polishing my nails. I'm stepping out, my dear, to breathe an atmosphere that simply reeks with class. And I trust that you'll excuse my dust when I step on the gas, for I'll be there, putting down my top hat, mussing up my white tie, dancing in my tail.
Dear boy, let me assure you, there's nothing about me what needs pinning up. Anyway, who do you think I am? Dora Dawes?
Mr. Ball, tell me, is it true that you've just come back from South Africa?
Yes, and I love it with a passion. It's my favorite country.
And had you been to South Africa before?
Not me, but my diamonds. Tell me, reporter, are all English people crazy?
Crazy? What makes you say that?
Well, look at this letter. Dear Sir or Madam. Don't they know the difference?
Madam, your table's ready.
Oh, Ronald, my darling, when will you get rid of that foreign accent of yours?
I'm sorry.
What was that?
That's Hungarian, forget you. Madame, some of your guests have already arrived.
Let them come in, please.
But they're here.
Oh, hello, darling. Have a drink.
Miss Gabor, please tell me, are there any men in your life?
I don't know what you mean by men.
Oh, Miss Gabor, I'm a man.
Oh, no, you are not. You are a reporter.
But come, tell me, is there anything really special about your party?
Of course. I'll be there. But besides joking, I tell you a secret. Some of the wonderfulest guests of mine are going to work.
Work?
Yes. Good night.
Good night. Just one other thing, please. Tell me, which is it you're engaged to? Bulgarin or Khrushchev? Come on, tell me. Come on.
Oh, my dear boy, I never can remember names.
Oh.
Ronnie, my darling, bring on the dancing girl.
cozy but rare and rare. On High Street, that's my street. I just want to say, they do things they don't do on Broadway. Say, they have the time of their life. And it's all an empty dance with his life in Chicago, my
And now, for the first time, singing and dancing, Tyrone Power.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Track 29. Boy, you can give me a shine. I can afford to board the Chattanooga choo-choo. I've got my fare, and just a trifle to spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore. Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina. When you hear that whistle blow and 8 to the bar, then you'll know that Tennessee is not very far. Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling. Whoa, Chattanooga, there you are. There's gonna be a certain party at the wedding, satins and lace, I used to call funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Party at the station, satins and lace, I used to call funny face. She has a very funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home?
Thank you. Finally got on. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a long show, and are you ready for my bit? I have a very jazzy bit I haven't done for 3 or 4 years here. This will lay the bomb of all times. I'd like to do a serious number. I don't usually do this, but I think I'm far enough away from Hollywood to get away with this, and I do hope you enjoy it. An invitation to a dance. I've got an invitation to a dance, but I don't think I'll go. All my friends there would know. It would hurt me to see the one who should be with me with somebody else. I've got an invitation to a dance. It's the town's big affair. All my friends will be there. It'll hurt me to see the one who should be with me with somebody else. Now, I don't like to start a lot of gossip, 'cause out of sight is out of mind. And maybe there's a chance that we can make up. We may wake up and find. Is it a shit on the screen? It'll hurt me to see the one who should be with me with somebody else. An invitation to a dance. I wanted to go, but I was afraid she'd be there. I went. She was there, and he was there. I didn't want them to see me. I wonder how many he's had been with she since me. And whether she told he about me, that's long before he met she, and they became he and she instead of me and she and he. But I had the same trouble once with a couple called him and her. Oh, I know what you're thinking. You think I'm just another sore loser in the game of love, crying over just another woman. But no, she was more than that. You see, we'd gone to Sandhurst together. Nobody at Sandhurst would have known, but she made the mistake of trying out for the water polo team. Ah, but she was beautiful. I'll never forget the first afternoon I met her. She was sitting in the little gypsy tea room with the candlelight dancing in her hair. All afternoon, the candlelight danced in her hair till she got up to go. She was completely bald. She had a strange fascination over me. After I'd leave her, I'd go home and play the piano for hours, which was very strange because we didn't have a piano. And we had many a party. Used to sleep with our paper hats on. Now, I'll never forget the one affair with 500 people waiting in the living room, and she appeared at the head of the stairs in that dress, a topless evening bottom. It was hard to get to her that night. She was completely surrounded by male admirers, some wanting to talk, others bringing her drinks, still others lighting her cigar. Finally got her alone in the garden, asked her for a kiss, and she gave me one that burned my lips to ashes. She forgot to take the cigar out of her mouth. On the way home that night, I proposed to her, and she accepted, and we were happy, deliriously happy, but then came the war. I didn't go. I was classified 2C, coward in both wars. But she went. She rejoined the cavalry. Came out without a single scratch, except for the time she broke her leg and they almost had to shoot her. After the war, I thought things would be different, but no. I started noticing another man's hat around the apartment, then another man's hat, and Val Parnell's braid. Finally went to her and told her she'd have to clean things up or I'd run away and live in a sewer in Paris. And it worked out fine. She's still seeing other men, and I'm going steady with a rat.
It would hurt me to see the one who should be with me with somebody else.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I say another word at all, may I offer my very deepest thanks to Bob Hope for his great kindness in coming to take the very last spot on this program this evening. He has to be on a plane at 8 o'clock this morning, and I really think it's a very noble action indeed for him to come and done this for us this evening. I'm sure you'd like to thank him and wish him bon voyage and Godspeed in his next enterprise, and we're not going to keep him another minute. Go on, Bob.
Thank you.
I should like to thank Mr. Val Parnell for the use of his beautiful theater. Thank you. And all the staff for their wonderful help, and everybody on this stage, seen and unseen, who has contributed so much to make this show all right. Finally, thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for giving the children whom we all look after one more year of life and hope. God bless you. Good morning.